Hey, what's up, guys? This is the Eternal Phoenix again, coming at you with another video. I swear to God, if this motherfucker freezes again, I'm gonna throw it across the fucking house. Okay, so J.S. Garrett said, "Go ahead and you're a faggot." Again, twice. I guess 2 times the charm. So, I'm gonna start where I left off last time. Chapter 4 of Revelations. I figured I'd start at the ending instead of the beginning. Like, an unnormalized person. So, signs is confirmation. So, after this I looked, and behold, a door standing open in heaven, and the first voice which I heard speaking to me like a trumpet said, "Come up here, and I will show you what must take place after this." And once I was in the Spirit, and behold, a throne stood in heaven, with one seated on the throne. And he who sat there had the appearance of jasper and carnelian, and around the throne was a rainbow that had the appearance of an emerald tablets with Thoth, the god of wisdom, and the philosopher's stone, I think, too. Kinda, sorta, but the emerald tablets more than anything. And, verse 3. Told you I was gonna ruin your fucking empire by the you fucking wrote, you dickheads. Around the throne were 24 thrones, and seated on the thrones were 24 elders, clothed in white garments with golden crowns on their head. Okay, so, fun fact, we used to have 24 chromosomes in our DNA. And then they genetically modified us to make us have 23 chromosomes instead. So that's an allegory. Around the throne were 24 thrones. So there was one singular, your body, and then your DNA. Or your aura. And seated on the thrones were 24 elders, so 24 chromosomes, clothed in white garments with golden crowns on their heads, tubes, like the what is it, not beakers, they're fucking god damn it, shit, I don't know, they're test tubes with like like lids or whatever. I can't remember the actual scientific term for it. There's an actual fancy, sophisticated term for it, but oh well. Y'all know what the fuck I mean. From the throne came flashes of lightning and rumblings and peals of thunder, and before the throne were burning 7 torches of fire, which are the 7 spirits of God. From the throne came flashes of lightning and rumblings and peals of thunder. 7 torches of fire. Wow. So they burned the fucking, wow, they burned it, they burned our DNA, or burned DNA, because, I mean, they say your body's a temple, same thing as a throne, to me. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. With a golden crown on their heads. Fucking shit. Angels. So they, oh my god, okay, I see it. Clothed with white garments. Okay, so yes, the angels, so the Nephilim had 24 chromosomes, and then they, wow, I just got a mental image in my head that they like bound the angels, or the Fae too, and took out and burned out a chromosome, like they would, tubes in a woman, like how they'd fix women. Sirens is confirmation. What the fuck? Oh well. 7 torches of fire. So the 7 chakras. Because if you think about it, they light up and they look like, you know, fire or whatever. And the colors that they depicted. There you go. 7 torches of fire, which are the 7 spirits of God. The fucking infinity stones. And before the throne there was as it were a sea of glass like crystal, and around the throne on each side of the throne are 4 living creatures, full of eyes in front and behind. 4 living creatures. sea of glass. I'm thinking Antarctica. Or the ice caps. Same thing, but like it's a different part of Antarctica. On each side of the throne. Oh my god, the Pillars of Hercules. I don't know why I thought that. The Pillars of Hercules, because if you stop and think about it, it actually, like, on a map, it would look like an actual, like, how a throne would kind of look. And 4 living creatures. The fucking, it's a compass. It's a fucking compass. Oh my god. Okay, so you have Antarctica, the ice caps, and then you have north, south, east, and west. So boom, that's it right there, Antarctica, because that's a dead center. Because the way I'm seeing it, or the way I'm being shown it before, like the world or the continents are the way now. It was way different then. It was like the flat Earth model that I found online, which I don't believe in the flat Earth model, but the one I found that's antique as fuck. It's like actually has like us in the middle, and then it has like all these surrounding other outside islands, and you can actually kind of tell that they might resemble like mythological creatures or something. Respectfully, because I do know that they exist on a different hertz than we do, and I know that sounds crazy, but it is what it is. Oh my god, Beelzebub. Sorry, I'm random, guys. You're gonna have to deal with that. Full of eyes in front and behind. It's a ship, I think. No. Full of eyes. Front and behind. Full of eyes, front and behind. I'll have to come back to that. I'll have to think about that. 4 living creatures, full of eyes in front of full of eyes in front and behind. Didn't say what type. Oh my god. A tactical team, kind of. 2 in front, 2 in back. The first living creature like a lion, the second living creature like an ox, the third living creature with the face of a man, and the fourth living creature like an eagle in flight. Lion, ox, and then they're like, so... Four different tag teams. I mean, like, 4 different, like, I don't see it as, like, actual physical animals. I'm seeing it as, like, a code names. And, Azazel confirms that. Correct. Thank you, Azazel. Like an eagle in flight, so, like, Air Force One, maybe. Or, you know, the eagle has landed, and etc. And the 4 living creatures, each of them with 6 wings, are full of eyes all around and within. And day and night they never cease to say, "Holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come." And, well, we already looked at the terminology for Lord and God. Fuck that. Because they used to call the kings Lord, so just bear that in mind too. And God doesn't necessarily have to be an omnipotent being. So, it's literally talking about a king. Holy, holy is the King Almighty. Because they used to be like, my Lord. They still do. Just a side story for that. And whenever the living creatures give glory and honor and thanks to Him who is seated on the throne, who lives forever and ever, the 24 elders fall down before Him, walls of Jericho. Who is seated on the throne, and worship Him who lives forever and ever. They cast their crowns before the throne, saying, "Worthy are you, our Lord," or aka King, and God, to receive glory and honor and power, for you created all things, and by your will they existed and were created. And Lord also can mean a wealthy landowner or property owner as well. So pretty much, I'm getting the gist of it. It's like they pretty much like they cast their crowns before the throne, so that like a war went on, and they were like, okay, we're gonna fuck it here. You get to rule now, because they were just tired of the bullshit. Because the walls of Jericho, or the fact that they burned out the 24th chromosome out of the angels, and they were like, they fought until they couldn't fight anymore. That's why they fell with Lucifer. So Revelations is actually the beginning of the ending of the beginning, if that makes sense. It's like it wraps around. They fucked it all up. It wraps around. Like, it starts with Revelations and then it goes to Genesis. So, chapter 5. Then I saw in the right hand of him who was seated on the throne a scroll. Really? Then I saw on the right hand of him who was seated on the throne a scroll written within on the back, sealed with 7 seals, which I'll give credits to Drew to fucking fuckface, because he was the one that told me that about the allegory with the 7 seals at the back, which is the 7 chakras still, but fuck him, that's the only credit he gets. Sealed with 7 seals, so it means they sealed them up or closed them off so they wouldn't be used, or people, or they wouldn't be able to manipulate them in a fucked up way. And I saw a mighty angel proclaiming with a loud voice, "Who is worthy to open the scroll and break its seals?" And no one in heaven or on earth or under the earth was able to open the scroll or to look into it. And I began to weep loudly, because no one was found worthy to open the scroll or to look into it. And one of the elders said to me, "Weep no more. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has conquered, so that he can open the scroll and its 7 seals." The Lion in the tribe of Judah, the root of David, root work, aka voodoo. VODU. Not VOODOO, none of that. VO apostrophe DU. Voodoo. That's how it's pronounced. Respectfully. And between the throne and the 4 living creatures, and among the elders, I saw a lamb standing as though it had been slain, with 7 horns, with 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent out into the earth. 7 continents, depending, but 7 rulers, technically, kinda, if you stop and think about it, like, not, like, the little bitty side countries, like the actual just continent, and a lamb standing as though it had been slain. Fucking shit. Well done, that fucking suck a dick hole. Y'all. Sorry about that. My nose ring just decided to fall the fuck out. With 7 horns, 7 eyes. So, yep. Trumpets. So, like how the Vikings used to blow their trumpets when they sailed. Like, it's like a cornucopia kind of, but it's actually a trumpet. And each continent had one. It was like a calling thing, like a beacon call, I guess. That's just my perception of it. It's not like written in stone. But this is the 7 spirits of God, or the 7... The 7 spirits of God, and it has to do with your chakras too. Everything goes back to your chakras, balancing them, and that's why I've seen this woman, and not to get on a side note, but like real quick, a woman had talked about like completely removing your chakras, and I was like, how the fuck why would you do that? I mean, like, in all honesty, like, respectfully, yeah, why would you remove them? According to who? According to who? How are chakras useless? That's what I thought. Nothing. Eat it. Whoever the fuck you were. Sorry. I'm channeling the living and dead. It's a new gift that I got since I died. And he went and took the scroll from the right hand of him who was seated on the throne. A scribe, aka, I don't know, a fucking notary. Right hand notary. Yep. And when he had taken the scroll, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, each holding a harp and golden bowls full of incense, which are the prayers of the saints. Whoever said that, Proverbs. Whoever said that, thank you. Who said it? Who said it? Okay, coding. Coding said that energetically, Proverbs, so thank you for that. Each holding a harp and golden bowl full of incense. So the Romans, they used to do that. They used to blow their trumpets and play the harps, like whenever what was it? The fucking god damn it. Dictator, or I think it was a dictator, but they had a different word for it than excellency, something of that nature. It wasn't your majesty, because they didn't, like, it wasn't an actual king. It was, your grace, etc. But it wasn't, like, super sophisticated yet. And so they did a ritual with golden bowls full of incense, which, Tibetan singing bowls would be the bowls for the chakras. Bingo. Which are the prayers of the saints, and, like, co-editing energetically said Proverbs. And they sang a new song, saying, "Worthy are you to take the scroll and to open its seals, and for you were slain, and by your blood you ransomed people for God from every tribe and language and people and nation." United States government. Indeed. And you have made them a kingdom and priests to our God, and they shall reign on the earth. Then I looked, and I heard around the throne and the living creatures and the elders the voice of many angels, numbering myriads of myriads and thousands, saying with a loud voice, "Worthy is the Lamb who was slain to receive power and wealth and wisdom and might and honor and glory and blessing." Yep. So pretty much they were just like, the lamb doesn't have to be necessarily an animal. Lamb could be children. Thank you again. Didn't think that one. So I'm thinking myself. You thought it was something else. Children. And confirmed it though. And I heard every creature in heaven and on earth and under the earth and in the sea and all that is in them saying to him who sits on the throne and to the Lamb, or aka child, be blessing and honor and glory and might forever and ever. But really, in all factuality, they're not blessing anything, they're just killing them in the name of God for power, and it's wrong. And the 4 living creatures said, Amen, and the elders fell down and worshipped. Literally a fucking satanic ritual, and I'm a Satanist. If I ever did fucking read one in a fucked up way. Chapter 6, and then I'm gonna cut it close for now. Excuse me. Now I watched when the Lamb opened one of the 7 seals. So the child opens their third eye, their imagination. That's the very first one that they open, as when you're born. I just was told that, so thank you. Fucking was it Litlu? Which, by the way, Litlu is actually aka Lilith. Lilith is not her actual name. Lu is her name. And her sigil's wrong too, by the way. But nobody knows that but me. Oops. And that's gonna be coming later. Not now, but later. I'm more focused on this shit. It's possible Litlu is the daughter of Cthulhu. It's not, they're not octopus. They are alien though. And by alien, they're just different from us. They still have 24 chromosomes. And they're at a higher frequency. Side story. Sorry. Now I watched when the Lamb opened one of the 7 seals, and I heard one of the 4 living creatures say with a voice like thunder, Come. And I looked, and behold, a white horse, and its rider had a bow, and a crown was given to him, and he came out conquering, and to conquer Cortez. And I looked, and behold, a white horse. Pale horse also. Could be significance for the apocalypse, but I saw Cortez going for the city of gold. Because he did go and conquer for gold. When he opened the 2nd seal, I heard the 2nd living creature say, Come. And out came another horse, bright red, and its rider was permitted to take peace from the earth, so that people should slay one another, and he was given a great sword. I was thinking a judicial system, because of the bright red rider was permitted to take peace from earth, so that people should slay one another, and he was given a great sword, or Azazel as well. They threw that in there. And when he opened the 3rd seal, I heard the 3rd living creature say, Come, and I looked, and behold, a black horse, and its rider had a pair of scales in his hand. So that goes hand in hand. So Azazel is the scales of justice, by the way, with the swords. That's my perception anyway. I could be wrong. I want to hear, somebody else's perception on it, and see, what their intake is on it, because, that's the whole point of me doing this. And I heard what seemed to be a voice in the midst of the 4 living creatures saying, A quart of wheat for a denarii, and 3 quarts of barley for a denarii, and do not harm the oil in the wine. That's the start of the currency in Rome. When he opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th living creature say, Come. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and its rider's name was Death. And Hades followed him, and they were given authority over 1/4 of the earth, to kill with sword, and with famine, and with pestilence, and by wild beasts of the earth. Indeed, Abaddon. When he opened the 5th seal, I saw under the altar. So this is you opening up your Kundalini one at a time, by the way, because it all your Kundalini starts as your root, which is your not your solar plexus, your root chakra. Is your solar plexus is sacral. Yes, sacral. Thank you. I'm just gonna say K. Sacral. But it's you working one, the seals is actually a representation of you opening up each one and balancing them and making sure that they're not fucked up. which, I mean, like in the old order that I was a part of, I actually kind of taught a class about the chakras and what each one operated, you know, like what, like for instance, like your solar plexus chakra actually balance, like if it's unbalanced, you'll have stomach problems, gastrointestinal problems, etc. Your sacral, like right down like at your groin area would be like your reproductive system and everything, but I'm not going to go completely into that. But it's literally talking about a representation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seals, 7 chakras, and this is what happens when you open them and they're balanced. It wasn't about like a physical, like you see it. It's like a, it's like it's a transfiguration of the self. Is what it's actually what this is really talking about. And everybody thought it was like, oh, it's going to be like fucking nuclear war, which that's a possibility, but this is about transfiguration of yourself. When he opened the 5th seal, I saw under the altar the souls of those who had been slain for the word of God and for the witness they had borne. And also, a lot of people think that the chakra system runs from your lower back up, and honestly, it actually goes like this. It meets in the middle at your heart chakra. It goes from up and then down into the middle of your heart, like a cross. I mean, it is true though. I mean, like, a lot of people think that that it runs from, it's either like one way or the other, and in all factuality, like, for the balance part of it, it has to run from your the base to the top of your head, and then, like, because you get all your downloads from spirit from this way, and then you ground yourself through your sacral chakra. They cried out loud with a voice of Sovereign Lord, holy and true, how long before you will judge and avenge our blood on those who dwell on the earth? Sovereign Lord. So, like, I'm guessing, like, balanced, or just taking a gander of the meaning of sovereign, like pure king, pure balanced king, you know, a fair judge as well. That could be a representation of that. Then they were each given a white robe and told to rest a little longer until the number of their fellow servants and their brothers should be complete, who were to be killed as they themselves had been. Wow. The Egyptians, I think, like the shit, I had it and it just poofed. And their brothers should be complete, who were to be killed as them themselves had been. White robes. It's gonna be the Romans. It's gonna be Tiberius and Julius Caesar, etc. Because they were, yeah, it's gonna be those leaders and their brothers. So it was a war, pretty much, brother against brother. When he opened the 6th seal, I looked, behold. So it's not talking about just like a physical war, you know, like with your actual brother. It's a war within yourself, because, like, you know, good and evil, like, think of it as, like, you know, good and bad, the little devil, little angel concept, would be the best way that I could put it in that type of context. When he opened the 6th seal, I looked, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth, the full moon became like blood. Solar eclipse. The Mayans. Or Aztecs, both, either one. Same type, but not different. I mean, they're the same, but they're different. They come from two different opposite ends of the spectrum, but yes, it was talking about a solar eclipse. And then, like, the blood moon, it would be, like, our blood moon that we have, like, once, I don't know, maybe a year, I don't know, I don't really, I mean, I do, but I don't pay attention to the moon phases, I don't pay attention to the colors of them, but it's a significance. It doesn't mean, like, it actually, like, blood, it was just, like, a transition of the moon phases with that color. They called it blood because it was crimson red. And the stars of the sky fell to the earth as the fig tree sheds its winter fruit when shaken by a gale. But this is what I was thinking. Let me back up. It says, when he opened the sixth seal, I looked, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth, and the full moon became like blood. Pompeii. Because that was the original destination of Rome before it got moved to its current location now. And a lot of people probably don't know that, and I know I don't have a degree, but I just know that because of the allegory, earthquake, volcano eruptions, it causes earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth, ash, volcanic ash, and the full moon became like blood. The color from the volcano erupting could make it look, like the tinge or whatever, or it could have been another nuclear fallout too. It just depends on your perception. But it says, and the stars of the sky fell to the earth as the fig tree sheds its winter fruit when shaken by a gale. So it'd be a nuclear winter. Also a possibility. Fuck, I don't know what this says in small handwriting. I'm checking about, a nuclear winter. When the stars fell out of the sky, it'd be ash that caused a volcanic winter, or flash freezing too, Antarctica. Because I always thought that Antarctica was like flash frozen by Thoth, because if you actually read the Emerald Tablets, it talks about them, actually kind of like freezing it. Not really, it didn't really go underwater. He flash froze it, like Merlin would have done in his like in a mystical type of way, but scientifically, Pompeii is what caused it technically, if you want to stop and think about it, unless they actually know about geoengineering. Weather engineering back then, which I wouldn't put it past them, because the Atlanteans were actually really intelligent, and they actually had electricity and all that shit then too, and they don't talk about that at all. But I'm not going to go into that because a lot of that is sacred, and I am bound by oath not to talk too much about it, because I'm a Mambo. I'm a Mambo Marie Laveau, the fifth, by the way. I'm going to finish up. The sky vanished like a scroll that is being rolled up, and every mountain and island was removed from its place. The continental drift, or the shift, the continents shifted. That's when it became the modern day map that we supposedly have now. It was the continental drift. I think it's continental drift is what it was. Then the kings of the earth, and the great ones, and the generals, and the rich and the powerful, and everyone, slave and free, hid themselves in the caves among the rocks of the mountains. And the Aztecs are the ones that dug their way into the earth because of that reason right there, because we actually wasn't really meant to live outside of the earth because of the atmosphere. For one, we damaged our atmosphere completely, as well as the outer core of it. They believe that by digging into the earth, they actually supposedly, according to lore, they found, they went so far underneath that they had the torches in their hand that were lit, but like whenever they went so far under it, they went out, but they could still see light. And apparently there was like an oasis or some sort in the center of the earth, which I don't think it was this planet, it was actually Venus, because I'm a starseed, Venusian, because I access my Akashic records. But they dug into the earth because of the rupture. So I don't know if it was this planet, or if they I believe there was a Stargate bridge going from both planets, and then humans were sneaking into it, the veil. not really a veil, I don't know how to describe it, but if you're, tapped in, or if you really know what the fuck you're talking about, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like, fucking how, Marvel does the Ragnarok, with, Thor. The bridge that they have that, like, teleports them, but it was like that from each planet. And then it got cut off because, well, for one, humans went to Venus and killed it. Nuclear war. That's where we started out at, I believe. Or one of the two. There's many different theories that I have about that, but I'm not going to go into theoretics. Calling out of the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him who is seated on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. The wrath of the children. Fall on us and hide us from the face of him. So they're trying to hide themselves from the children that they've raped and killed. For the great day of their wrath has come, and who can stand? So the day of their children has come, and who can stand and say that they did their part? But I'm at 36 minutes, and I'm gonna make that short and sweet. It was 36:31 on the dot whenever I stopped. But yeah. I mean, it's just, like, you just have to really read between the lines on it, and I think a lot of people took it and ran with it, and didn't even, take the time out to really bother and fucking look at the timelines and the history, because it's right there in front of your face. So, but that is my Bible breakdown for the day. If you liked what I had to share, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with another one. So until then, rise above the norm, guys. Later.